Hello everybody, thank you for joining us today. It is Easter week and I'm so excited that we get to celebrate Jesus today. We get to celebrate that He died on the cross and He rose again. And I'm just so excited for what this means for us today. One of the other reasons I'm excited is because Easter means we get Easter baskets. I don't know how many of you guys celebrate Easter that way, but I always grew up celebrating Easter that way, okay? And we would always get Easter baskets. We'd wake up Easter morning and we'd come downstairs, and sometimes it would be sitting on our kitchen table, the Easter basket, but as we got older, it became more fun, and my parents would they'd take our baskets and they'd hide them around the house, and then we'd have to find them. So it was like an Easter egg hunt with our Easter baskets, all right? And so just imagine you get your Easter basket, and I want you to just picture this with me, and you look down in it, and there's grass, and you dig through the grass, and all of a sudden, you see only grass. There's nothing else in it. There's no candy, right? The reason we have Easter baskets is because they're filled with candy, right? Candy eggs, Reese's eggs, chocolate bunnies. We love the candy that comes with the Easter baskets, right? And it'd be a really big bummer if there wasn't any candy in our Easter egg baskets. All right, well today I want to share with you guys about something else that's missing, all right? A different missing piece on our Easter basket. It's much, much bigger than that. All right, so I want you to check out this video and you will see what is missing.
Hey everyone, I am so excited. I'm getting ready to go on a trip for Easter weekend. I think I've got everything ready to go, so here I go. What? Oh my goodness, how did this happen? Oh, that's what it is. My suitcase is missing a zipper. What good is a suitcase if it's got a missing piece? And not just any missing piece, it's missing the most important piece, the zipper. Without it, all my clothes just go everywhere. Can you imagine trying to work on a project at your desk while sitting in a chair with a missing piece? The legs? Or imagine trying to pour yourself a refreshing bowl of cereal without a bowl. Or imagine you're playing basketball with your friend, but there's a missing piece, the air in the ball. It can be really frustrating when you realize that there's a missing piece. But you know, the world is full of people who are walking around with a piece missing from their lives. And it's not just any piece, it's the most important piece, Jesus. Jesus is the reason we celebrate Easter. He died on the cross and rose again so that He could fill that missing piece in the life of every human being. You're going to learn all about that in your lesson today. Well, I have got quite the mess here to clean up and a suitcase to fix. I better get on it because I don't want to be late for my trip. But I want to wish all of you a very happy Easter, and I want to remind you that Jesus is the most important piece of your life. See ya!
Wow, did you guys see what all was missing in our video there? There was hardly anything without a missing piece, and all of those were worth nothing without that piece that they were missing. Well, we're going to find out that Jesus is the most important piece of our lives, and without Him, then we are missing something, all right? But I want you guys to tune in to our What You Gotta Know video.
What you gotta know, what you gotta know. Time for Boudreaux, what you gotta know. What you gotta know, what you gotta know. Time for Boudreaux, what you gotta know.
Hey there kids, my name is Boudreaux. That's pronounced Boudreaux. And I'm here to tell you what you gotta know. First off, let me tell you a little something about myself. My name is Boudreaux, and I'm a Cajun from the Bayou. That's down there in Louisiana. I like to do all sorts of Cajun stuff. You know, I like to go gator wrestling, I like to go frog gigging, I like to do my favorite pastime, possum punching. But today, I'm here to teach you what you gotta know. Today, we're talking about how Jesus is the missing piece in our lives. So every time today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them this: Jesus is the missing piece. Life is kind of like a big old puzzle. Matter of fact, I'm working on a puzzle right now. It's got so many pieces, it's gonna take me weeks. You ever try to put a puzzle together out on a swamp on a raft? Man, those puzzle pieces keep falling in the water, and when they come out, they're as soggy as a nacho stuck in cheese dip for over 3 weeks. Sometimes we're trying to put together all the puzzle pieces of life. You know, like family and friends and goals and schoolwork, all that good stuff. Well, it's so hard to do, it just keeps falling apart. Well, that's because we forget to put the most important piece of all right in the center. That's Jesus, and he holds the whole puzzle together. So every time today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them this: Jesus is the missing piece. And there right there is what you gotta know. Well, I'm Boudreaux from the Bayou saying bye-bye you.
I hope you guys learned what you got to know. It was a great what you got to know. Well, I want to tell you guys about today's Bible story. All right, and today's Bible story is called Jesus is Alive. All right, and so the story begins when Jesus turns 30 years old, all right? He spent 3 years preaching the good news of God's love to the people in the world around him. All right, Jesus' 12 disciples knew during this time that he promised to set up the kingdom of God on earth. And he's going to rule the world, and Jesus was a major piece of their lives. And then one day something terrible happened. Oh, Jesus was arrested. He was beaten. He was sentenced to death. His hands and feet were nailed to a cross. The soldiers laughed at him. They poked him with the spears, and the disciples couldn't believe it. All right? They expected Jesus to fight back. They expected him to defeat the Roman soldiers that took him. But guess what? Jesus didn't fight back. He didn't fight back those that had hurt him. All right? Instead, what he did is he prayed for God to forgive those around him that had hurt him. He prayed for them so that they would not know the pain of the sins of their lives. And sadly, Jesus died on the cross that day. Jesus' disciples were sad. The most important piece of their lives, Jesus, was missing. How could this happen? Jesus promised to set up his kingdom on earth. The disciples began to lose hope and thought surely God's plan had failed. They thought that God was not going to set up his kingdom on earth. And so Jesus didn't save himself. They placed Jesus' body in a tomb, and the large stone was rolled in front of it. All right? And 3 days later, some women came to the tomb, and they wanted to anoint Jesus' body with some perfume. And so when they got there, they showed up, and there was nothing there. Jesus was gone. The only thing that was there was his clothes. Talk about a missing piece. His dead body was laying in this tomb, and all of a sudden it was gone, and the rock was moved. And what do you guys think had happened? Well, guess what? Suddenly an angel appeared and to the women, and he said, why are you looking for Jesus? He isn't here. He is risen from the dead. All right? Jesus' body wasn't missing. All right? Jesus was alive. He was walking around and breathing. It was exciting. And so later, Jesus would appear to the disciples. He would show up and talk to people, and he would show that he was alive indeed. And that is why we celebrate Easter today, because Jesus rose from the grave 3 days after he died. He conquered death, all right? And it made it possible to have eternity with Jesus. All right, we're going to learn more about it in our Bible story. But before we do that, I want you guys to tune into our power verse. Hey guys, today's power verse is from Matthew chapter 28, verses 5 and 6. And it says, "The angel said, 'You are looking for Jesus? He isn't here. He has been raised from the dead.'" All right, so make sure you practice that at home. It is from Matthew chapter 28, verses 5 and 6. I hope you guys loved our power verse today. I think it's such a great verse, all right? Well, I have something else I want to share with you guys that's awesome today, and something that I love. All right, one of the things that I love are puzzles. All right, I don't know how many of you guys like puzzles, but I love puzzles. And so I am going to put together a puzzle here while we work. And I want you guys to watch it, all right? And so we put it together, and when I put it together, I always start with the outside edges. And so that's what I do first. I always put the outside edges together. And then once I get those done, then I do the middle parts, and I put them in, and then we're all done. But hold on, we're missing a piece. What do we do when we miss a piece? Hold on, let me look around here. I don't know where the piece is. All right, well, this is horrible, but guess what? This puzzle reminds me of something important. All right, it reminds me of life. All right, do you know what I mean by that? Every life has missing pieces. It's just the way that life is. We go through life and we always are going to feel some sort of emptiness inside of us, and that's part of our life, it's natural to feel that way. And as a result of that, people try to fill in that missing piece. All right, they do lots of things. One of the things they do is they try to get lots of money. All right, who here loves money? I love money, right? I love to go buy things, all right? And so people try to fill that empty spot in their life with money, because once they have lots of money, they can buy cars, they can buy video games, they can buy toys, they can buy new clothes, they can buy whatever they want. All right, so they're gonna become richer and richer and richer, and then they still feel empty once they have lots and lots of money. All right. Other people try to win awards or accolades. They try to become famous. All right. They get trophies and they try to impress people around them. But eventually, after they accomplish all this, they still feel empty. All right. Some of the people try to accomplish this by being popular or being liked. All right. I know I like to have friends around me. It makes me feel good when I have people around me. But that doesn't fill in the emptiness that I'm feeling. All right, people can have hundreds of friends and still feel lonely. Right? Some people they have social media and they feel lonely, and they have I have over 2,000 friends on Facebook. But guess what? Sometimes I still feel lonely, even though I have 2,000 friends that can see everything I post. Sometimes I still feel lonely, like something's missing. All right, but guess what? The reason why we still feel this emptiness is because there's always something missing in our hearts, and that thing can only be filled by one thing. And that one thing is Jesus. Jesus is the missing puzzle piece to our hearts. Just like our puzzle that we're trying to put together, it's missing one piece. The one piece that fits perfectly in our lives is Jesus. All right? And so without having Jesus in our lives, we are always going to have this emptiness. We're always going to feel slightly empty. And when we try to fill that empty spot with anything besides Jesus, it's never going to fit right. All right? Jesus came to this earth and died on the cross. He died on the cross so He could forgive us of our sins and we could spend eternity with God. He comes into our life. He died to be that perfect puzzle piece that's missing from our lives. All right? And when we have Jesus in our lives, He fills that missing piece that we have, right? That missing puzzle piece that we have. He fixes that. All right? So we need to make sure that we have Jesus in our lives because He is that missing puzzle piece. And as you guys will see, this puzzle piece will fit perfectly in the spot that we were missing. All right? So we're going to go put this in the puzzle. Join me now. As you guys saw, that puzzle piece fit perfectly. And like I said, just as Jesus fits into our lives perfectly, He fits into your lives perfectly. I want you guys all to have a chance to know Jesus. And this is a great week to learn about, all right? It is Easter. It is a day to celebrate. And thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to watch more videos of Bible stories or more lessons, you can follow us on YouTube at Meadowbrook Kids Online. And we'd love for you to join us there and watch more of our videos. Have a great day. Bye.